Members, we have guests with us today in the North Gallery. This is the members of Gun Owners of Arkansas, led by Gary Epperson. They are guests today of Representative Matt Duffield. Would you please give them a welcome? Also guests of Representative Marcus Richmond. Madam Clerk, please read Senate Joint Resolution number 11.
Senate Joint Resolution 11 by Representative Duffield, a constitutional amendment to amend Arkansas Constitution, Article 2, Section 5, to protect the right to keep and bear arms.
Representative Duffield, you're recognized to explain the resolution.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Today I stand to champion a sacred right and a bold step forward. Senate Joint Resolution 11, which strengthens the Arkansas Constitution to protect our freedom to keep and bear arms. SJR11 declares that we, the citizens of Arkansas, have the right to keep and bear arms for our common defense, lawful hunting, recreational use, and any other lawful purpose. It is a natural, fundamental, and individual right that shall not be infringed, a shield for our liberty. History warns us what happens when this right is stripped away. Mao took the guns, leaving millions defenseless. Hitler took the guns, enabling horrors beyond our imagination. Stalin took the guns, crushing all resistance. Fidel Castro took the guns, chaining Cuba to tyranny. Chavez took the guns, turning Venezuela into a nightmare of oppression. We see the same process today playing out in slow motion. Disarmament is the tyrant's playbook. It robs the people of their power to stand free. President Ronald Reagan said it best. The gun has been called the great equalizer, meaning that a small person with a gun is equal to a large person, but it is a great equalizer in another way too. It ensures that the people are the equal of their government whenever that government forgets that it is servant and not master of the governed. Sadly, the tyrant often understands this better than the free man. That should never be the case here in Arkansas. SJR 11 amends Article 2, Section 5 of our state constitution. It ensures our right includes not just firearms, but also ammunition, accessories, and components, everything needed to exercise our freedom effectively. These are exactly the things that some people are eager to take away. Set to take effect on January 1, 2027, if approved by the voters, this amendment will fortify Arkansas against any attempt to erode our Second Amendment protections and will go even further to safeguard this right for generations to come. This bill is the next step in a storied tradition. The English Bill of Rights of 1689 restored the right to bear arms after King James II disarmed Protestants. In America, a ragtag group of colonists in Philadelphia had an idea that was so revolutionary that it would change the course of human history forever. That the rights of the people come not from kings and parliaments, but are inalienable and come from the people themselves. And that the purpose of government is not to grant those rights, but to protect them. Our founding fathers knew what tyranny looked like. They had lived under it. They had fought under it. They had died under it. And when it came time to create our Constitution, our founding fathers knew that if freedom was to endure in this new nation, then the people must always retain the ability to defend it, not just from foreign invaders, but from any threat, even from its own government if necessary. Because the founders also knew that when governments fear the people, there is liberty. When people fear the government, there's tyranny. The Second Amendment was born from the fear of a federal government wielding unchecked power. James Madison argued in Federalist number 46 that an armed populace could resist tyranny. Convention delegates demanded guarantees that citizens, not just militias, could keep arms. SJR 11 echoes that legacy. affirming that you, the individual, have the right to defend yourself, your family, and your state. In a time when every tragedy results in renewed calls to disarm law-abiding citizens, SJR11 strengthens our Arkansas Constitution to protect our freedom to keep and bear arms. If approved by the people, it would declare in our state constitution that we, the citizens of Arkansas, have the individual right to keep and bear arms. It is a natural, fundamental, and individual right that shall not be infringed, a shield for our liberty, because liberty can only prevail when the government is afraid of the people. Let's break down what this really means. First, the protection of personal security. In Arkansas, this matters. Estimates suggest that between 60,000 and 2.5 million defensive gun uses occurs nationwide each year. Often, simply displaying a firearm is enough to stop a threat, saving lives without a shot being fired. For a rural hunter, a single parent in Little Rock, or a retiree in Fayetteville, a firearm can mean security and independence. Second, the preservation of national security in a manner consistent with liberty. The militia clauses in our federal and state constitutions uphold this principle. In 1791, militias were made up of everyday citizens, farmers, shopkeepers, armed for common defense. Today, our state defense forces and National Guard carry that legacy, but an armed citizenry remains the backbone. SJR11 acknowledges that a free Arkansas depends on citizens prepared to protect their communities and resist government overreach. The U.S. Supreme Court has upheld both aspects of this right. In District of Columbia versus Heller, the court affirmed that self-defense is a central component of the Second Amendment, unlinked to militia service. McDonald versus Chicago applied this right to the states. Bruin reaffirmed our freedom to carry arms publicly. SJR11 brings Arkansas in full alignment with these rulings, cementing self-defense as a natural and protected right. John Locke wrote that we have a right to resist when government violates our liberties, and today, unconstitutional gun control laws are spreading like wildfire. We must do our part in Arkansas, not just to hold the line, but to go on the offensive and lead the way. Justice Joseph Story once called armed citizens a moral check against tyranny. That's what SJR11 is. It's our stand, a vote to keep Arkansas free, safe, and strong for generations to come. At the end of the day, the Second Amendment and our own right to keep and bear arms in the Arkansas Constitution is not about hunting, it's not about sport shooting, and it's not about self-protection. It's about a citizen's last line of defense against tyranny, and it's part of our nation's DNA. I urge you to vote yes on SJR11 and do our part to keep our people free and strong, and let the people of Arkansas decide. Thank you.
Representative Duffield has explained the resolution. Would anyone like to speak against the resolution? For the resolution? Representative Duffield, he's closed for the resolution. Question before the House is the passage of Senate Joint Resolution number 11. Prepare the machine, Madam Clerk. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Cast up the ballot. The vote of 86 yeas, 10 nays, and 2 present. The resolution has been adopted.